So now that we understand mitosis and meiosis, here we are going to do a direct comparison of these two processes. Now remember that these are cell division processes, and before the cell itself can undergo mitosis or meiosis, the cell is going to exist in a stage known as interphase. Now remember that cells exist within a cycle known as the cell cycle, and majority of that cell cycle is known as interphase, where the cell is undergoing growth, DNA replication, and any preparations necessary before it can undergo division. And that division may be meiosis or it may be mitosis. So that's important to understand. Before mitosis and meiosis can occur, the cell exists in interphase. Now, the first difference between mitosis and meiosis is the number of chromosomes. So mitosis is going to produce diploid daughter cells. So those daughter cells are going to have 46 chromosomes. Whereas in meiosis, it's going to produce haploid daughter cells. We're going to see 23 chromosomes. Now, the location of where mitosis and meiosis occur is also different. Mitosis is going to occur in somatic cells. That's the majority of the cells found within your human body. That's going to be your skin cells, your hair cells, your nail cells, so much more. Whereas meiosis is going to occur in the germ cells or the reproductive cells, because meiosis is going to produce gametes. Now, in mitosis, the daughter cells are genetically identical to the parent cell. So mitosis is producing diploid, genetically identical daughter cells, whereas in meiosis, we are producing haploid, genetically unique daughter cells, and we produce 4 of them. So the number of daughter cells is also different. In mitosis, we see 2 daughter cells, whereas in meiosis, we see 4 daughter cells. Now, the number of divisions. Remember, when we talk about mitosis, the first stage was prophase, then we had metaphase, then we had anaphase, then telophase. So in mitosis, we see 1 round of PMAT, which is your prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. But in meiosis, we see 2 rounds of division. So we see this process occur 2 times. So in mitosis, there's 1 round of division, whereas in meiosis, there's 2 rounds of division. Next is synapsis and crossing over. Now, remember that during prophase in meiosis, homologous chromosomes come together and they interact via a process known as synapsis, and they exchange genetic information at specific locations known as the chiasmata. Now, when they exchange the specific genetic information with each other, they create these unique chromosomes and chromatids, which is going to increase genetic variance in the offspring. Now, this synapsis and crossing over of chromosomes, it only occurs in meiosis, because in meiosis, we want to produce those genetically unique daughter cells, whereas in mitosis, we want to produce genetically identical daughter cells, so that is why we do not see synapsis and crossing over in mitosis. Now, lastly, sister chromatid separation. Now, sister chromatids will separate during anaphase 1 in mitosis, but they're going to separate in anaphase 2 in meiosis, because remember, in meiosis, we have homologous chromosomes pairing up, and in anaphase 1, the homologous chromosomes will get separated, and then in anaphase 2, the sister chromatids will get separated. So that's also a key distinction of when the sister chromatids will be separated. And that's essentially the difference between meiosis and mitosis. Mitosis, you have diploid cells. It occurs in somatic cells. You're producing 2 genetically identical daughter cells with 1 round of division. No synapsis occurs, and sister chromatids separate during anaphase 1. Whereas in meiosis, you're producing 4 genetically unique haploid daughter cells. It occurs in germ or reproductive cells because you want to produce gametes. There's 2 rounds of division. You see that synapsis and crossing over occur, so you can increase genetic variance, and the sister chromatids separate during anaphase 2. And remember, before mitosis and meiosis even occur, the cell exists in an overall cycle known as the cell cycle, and mitosis and meiosis make up a small portion of that cell cycle, and majority of the cell's life is spent in interphase, where it undergoes growth and DNA replication.